Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The first whispers that began circulating around the locker room were almost impossible to ignore. People who have been around football long enough know that the most explosive stories rarely start on the field, and this one seems to have followed that pattern. The rumor is that DeAndre Swift and Caleb Williams had a heated exchange in the Bears' locker room, and it escalated quickly enough that coaches and staff felt forced to step in. What's striking about this isn't just the argument itself, but the fact that it reportedly happened in a space that is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place where players can regroup, refocus, and rebuild after whatever chaos the game might have thrown at them. If this account is true, it suggests tensions within the team that go beyond normal frustration or competitive fire. It hints at something deeper, a crack in the chemistry that the organization has been trying to build one practice at a time. And if there's one thing locker room conflicts tend to reveal, it's that the problems are rarely about a single moment. The story continues to spread because the timing feels so suspicious. There's no denying that a locker room argument between a running back and a quarterback is the kind of headline that fuels speculation, but it's also the kind of incident that can signal something much larger. The rumors suggest that Swift, known for his intensity and his willingness to speak his mind, might have clashed with Williams over leadership, work ethic, or even a perceived lack of accountability. And Williams, who is often described as confident and highly competitive, may not have taken kindly to being challenged in a way that implied he was not pulling his weight or that his approach wasn't cutting it. What makes this especially intriguing is that the two players represent very different roles and personalities on the team. Swift is a veteran presence who has earned respect through effort and consistency, while Williams is still carving out his identity in the league, trying to establish himself as the face of the franchise. When those two worlds collide, the fallout can be dramatic. As the rumor gained traction, the next detail that surfaced made the situation feel more serious. People began saying that the incident did not end with a simple verbal confrontation, but that it escalated to the point where team leadership had to intervene. That kind of escalation is not just about the argument itself. It's about the fact that it disrupted the environment in a way that couldn't be ignored. When coaches step in, it means the situation is no longer private. It means the team's internal structure is being tested. It means the organization believes the conflict has the potential to impact performance, unity, or even morale. Some insiders are suggesting that the coaching staff may have had to separate the two players to prevent further escalation, and that this separation was done with the intent of protecting the team from a larger disruption. If that's true, it would indicate that the organization is treating the situation as a serious threat to the locker room stability. What adds fuel to the rumor is the claim that both players were removed from team activities, at least temporarily. In professional football, being away from the team is a phrase that can mean many things, but it almost always signals a form of punishment or a cooling-off period. The rumor suggests that the Bears decided to isolate both Swift and Williams, not as a judgment of who was right or wrong, but as a way to regain control of a volatile situation. That kind of decision is rarely taken lightly. It indicates that the organization feels the incident has potential to disrupt the broader team dynamic. It also raises questions about how the front office views leadership within the locker room. If the quarterback is seen as the franchise's leader and the running back is a respected veteran voice, then a conflict between them could be interpreted as a clash of authority. And when authority clashes, the team can be forced to choose sides, which is the last thing a franchise wants when it is trying to build consistency and trust. The rumor has also sparked speculation about the underlying cause. Was it a disagreement over play execution, a dispute over accountability, or perhaps a personal issue that spilled into the public space? The most compelling speculation suggests it might have been about leadership style. Swift, who has earned his place through grit and a reputation for reliability, might have questioned Williams' approach to the game or the way he communicates with teammates. Williams, known for his confidence and competitive intensity, might have interpreted this as disrespect. In a sport where ego and pride are always present, it's easy for a conversation to turn into a conflict when two strong personalities clash. And when that happens in the locker room, where emotions are raw and adrenaline is still high, it can turn into a situation that feels larger than it should. The rumor, whether true or not, implies that there is tension not just between two players, but between two different visions of how the team should be led. Finally, the speculation extends to how this could affect the team moving forward. If both players were indeed removed from team activities, it suggests the organization is preparing for a potential fallout. That could mean internal meetings, leadership evaluations, or even changes in how the team manages player relationships. The rumor has fans wondering if the Bears' leadership is concerned about the locker room environment and whether this incident is a symptom of deeper issues. If the team is forced to navigate a conflict between its quarterback and one of its key offensive weapons, it could impact the overall culture. And in a league where trust and cohesion are often the difference between winning and losing, any sign of internal disruption can be a major concern. Whether this is a temporary flare-up or the beginning of a longer conflict remains unclear, but the rumor has already stirred the kind of debate that teams usually try to avoid. The most intriguing part of the rumor is the reaction from the rest of the locker room. In situations like this, the true story often emerges from how teammates respond, because their behavior reveals who they respect and who they follow. If Swift and Williams were indeed separated from the team, the question becomes, who in the locker room is taking sides? Some are suggesting that the veteran leaders might lean towards Swift, viewing him as a stabilizing presence who has earned the right to speak up. Others believe younger players may rally around Williams, seeing him as the future of the franchise and a symbol of the team's direction. The rumor implies that this incident could be the catalyst for a divide between established veterans and a newer wave of talent, a split that can quietly influence team dynamics. In professional football, where unity is often built on mutual respect and shared goals, any fracture can be difficult to repair. And if the locker room starts to feel divided, the team's performance can become a secondary concern. Another layer to the speculation is how this conflict could impact the team's offensive strategy. Swift is a player who brings a particular style and energy to the run game, and his presence often changes how defenses approach the Bears. If there is tension between him and the quarterback, it could affect how plays are executed, how communication happens in the huddle, and how trust is built during crucial moments. On the other hand, if the quarterback is feeling challenged by a veteran's critique, it could impact his confidence or decision-making. In a league where mental edge is just as important as physical ability, an unresolved conflict can be damaging. The rumor suggests that coaches may be worried about how this tension could show up on the field, and that's why they might be taking a more serious approach than fans realize. When the team's leadership is forced to manage interpersonal conflict, it can shift focus away from preparation and toward damage control. The rumor also raises questions about the organization's leadership style. Some insiders believe the Bears may be attempting to enforce a strict standard of behavior, signaling that no player is above the team's values. If that's true, the decision to isolate both players could be seen as a message. The team will not tolerate public conflict, regardless of the players involved. But others argue it could be a sign of uncertainty, a sign that the organization is unsure how to handle a high-profile dispute without causing further disruption. In either case, the situation reflects the complexity of managing a modern NFL locker room, where star power, media attention, and personal ambition can collide with team expectations. The rumor suggests that the organization is trying to walk a tightrope between protecting its players and protecting its culture. And that balancing act is rarely easy, especially when it involves a quarterback and a key offensive weapon. Some fans have also begun speculating about what this might mean for the future of both players in the franchise. If the conflict is serious, the team may feel forced to consider longer-term decisions. Could this be the beginning of a split between the two? Could one of them be moved or traded in the future? The rumor suggests that if the relationship is damaged beyond repair, the team may face a difficult choice. Prioritize the quarterback as the face of the franchise, or prioritize the veteran presence and stability that a player like Swift provides. These kinds of decisions are never simple, and they are rarely made in public. But the rumor implies that the organization might be preparing for a scenario where they must choose sides. And that possibility is what makes the story so compelling, because it suggests that this is not just a momentary argument, but a potential turning point in the team's direction. The rumor also hints at a deeper cultural issue within the team. In a franchise that is trying to build a winning identity, conflicts like this can reveal whether the culture is strong or fragile. If the locker room is able to address the issue, repair the relationship, and move forward together, it could become a defining moment that strengthens the team. But if the conflict continues to simmer, it could become a source of ongoing tension that undermines trust. The rumor suggests that the Bears may be at a crossroads, where leadership and unity are being tested in real time. And if that is true, it means the team's success may depend on how well they manage internal conflict, not just how well they perform on the field. The narrative is powerful because it suggests that the story of the season might be shaped as much by what happens in the locker room as by what happens on game day. Finally, the rumor has left fans and analysts wondering what the next move will be. Will the team attempt to reconcile the two players privately? Will they enforce a formal disciplinary action? Or will they continue to keep them away from the team until tensions cool down? The speculation suggests that the organization is carefully weighing its options, because any public misstep could intensify the situation. In a league where public perception matters as much as performance, the Bears may be trying to manage the narrative while also protecting the team's internal cohesion. The rumor is still developing, and the truth may never fully emerge. But one thing is clear. The alleged conflict between DeAndre Swift and Caleb Williams has the potential to reshape the locker room, the team's identity, and the direction of the franchise. And in a sport where every story matters, this one is already generating a buzz that won't fade quickly. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The way the rumor is spreading suggests that the locker room may already be feeling the ripple effects. When a conflict reaches the level where both players are said to be separated from team activities, it sends a message to everyone else. The situation is serious enough to disrupt the usual routine. That kind of energy tends to change how teammates interact, even if they are not directly involved. Players start walking on eggshells, conversations become more guarded, and the sense of unity that a team needs to perform at a high level can begin to fray. The rumor implies that the Bears may now be dealing with an invisible tension that isn't easy to fix, because it's not just about the two individuals, but about the atmosphere they help shape. If teammates are choosing sides, even quietly, it can create an environment where trust becomes conditional, and that is the last thing a team wants when it is trying to build a consistent identity. Another layer of speculation revolves around how the media and the fan base might react if this story continues to grow. In a city where expectations can be intense and opinions are always loud, a locker room conflict can become a story that takes on a life of its own. The rumor suggests that the organization might already be thinking about the narrative, trying to control the story before it spirals into something that distracts the team. When a quarterback and a running back are involved, the story becomes even more charged because both players represent different parts of the team's identity and its future. If the rumor continues to circulate, it could create pressure on the front office to respond, even if they prefer to handle things internally. And that pressure can force decisions that might not have been made otherwise, simply because the public is demanding clarity or accountability. That is the risk of a rumor in today's sports world. It can become a force that shapes the team's actions, regardless of whether it is fully accurate. Finally, the most unsettling part of the speculation is the question of whether this conflict is a symptom of something deeper. Teams are often tested in the most unexpected ways, and the way they respond can define their season. If this rumor is true, it could mean that the Bears are dealing with internal fractures that go beyond one argument, beyond one day, beyond one incident. It could mean that the culture is being challenged and that the team is still trying to find the right balance between talent, leadership, and accountability. The rumor suggests that the organization may now be in a moment of decision, where they must choose whether to reinforce discipline, protect relationships, or risk letting the conflict simmer. And in a league where every week brings a new challenge, a team that is dealing with internal tension may find that the pressure builds faster than they can handle. The truth behind a rumor may never fully come out, but the speculation itself is already casting a shadow over the locker room. And that is a story that cannot be ignored. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.